ready for two wild guys throwing out spicy ideals on fantasy football. Welcome back to the Dynasty Football Mania. Trust at your own risk.
All right, so last week we talked about the AFC North, and I think I got a little excited. So I think I
Just a little.
over predicted who would make it to the playoffs. I had like the Ravens, Steelers, and the Browns. We know that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. I want to beat Austin. I want to be right. Austin guessed the Bengals and the Ravens. I'll have to agree with him on the Ravens. The Ravens will definitely make it. I'm going to go ahead and only take one team out of the North in my 17 prediction for the AFC. And I'm only going to take the Ravens. So I just wanted to clear that up in this show. So when we go recap this, she was like, no, when we seen the AFC North show, you said three teams. Like, yes, I did. But I also woke up and realized that the Cleveland Browns is a dream. And the Steelers will be a joke because Aaron Rodgers is there. He will get hurt and he will not survive the season. And I don't see anything good coming out of that whole situation. Sorry, guys. Hate to break the news to you or be the bad news bearer or whatever you want to call it, but that's the truth. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. You just got a little too excited, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, with all the other excitement, why not? So today we're going to cover the AFC South. What is the top fantasy players coming out and who we think are going to win or are going to make it to the playoffs next
Well,
year?
since you asked me offline what division you want to do next, I'll let you start off with the team you want to talk about first.
Let's talk about the three of them's already a hot mess and one's half decent. So, I mean, I can't say they're all, only one's a hot mess.
We still gonna talk about them, but you choose first.
All right, let's start with the God. Actually, we can talk a lot about all of these. Let's just talk about Tennessee Titans. Let's just get the Titans off. Before I do that, I kind of wanted to mention something, guys. I know during the show. Hold on one second, Austin. Can you say something for me? Okay, good. I just want to make sure the sound's still working because I'm doing something.
I got you.
It's working. So I fixed it. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
So you guys hear me talking in the last episode about punt bonuses and return bonuses, and we also talk about a little bit of tight end bonuses. And what I wanted to highlight is like when you go into settings, especially in sleeper, I got one pulled up showing the passing right here, and you can see this is a league that we play in called Stack'em. I don't know if I think Austin's in this league too, but it's similar to Austin's points too. So we're pretty much on the same page, maybe slightly different. Maybe I should bring up one of our leagues, but I already had this one brought up. But like quarterback has its basic. I mean, you got the 1 point for every 25 yards, and then 4 points for passing touchdown, and then we give a bonus of 0.25 for every first down, and then also you get 2 points for a 2-point conversion, and minus 1 point if they get an interception. And the bonuses we throw in this league is 40-plus yard completion bonus and a 40-yard pass touchdown bonus. But you can see there's other stuff we can add for points to accumulate and give the quarterback more points. But right now, that's a pretty good. That's almost standard PPR, a little bit higher, but it's still really good. And then rushing's basically the same. It's you get 1 point every 10 yards. That's basically any kind of receiving or rushing yards. And then rushing touchdown 6, because that's really what they score, 6. And then a rushing first down, we give them a 0.5 bonus for running backs, which is not. You really don't see a difference. Like I play in a straight PPR league. In this league, yeah, the points a little bit higher, but they're not like extraordinary high. They'd have to really do something amazing. And then you got the bonuses, which we kind of equal it out across all the playing fields, gives the 40-plus bonuses. And then we also set up receptions the same way. They get a bonus for first downs, and then they get a bonus for the 40 yards, and that's it. But the one thing I wanted to note on this is on receptions, receivings, if you scroll down here, we have a tight end bonus in this league. So that means each reception for a tight end, they get 1.5, not just 1 point for the reception. They get 1.5. Some leagues do a whole point. They're 2 points. And it really doesn't, it helps out the tight ends. It gives them a little bit more boost, and it kind of helps out the whole league. So that's exciting. And in the kicking part, over the years, we've just kind of we like the idea that they let us set it a little bit better. So we do 3 points for anything between 0 and 39 yards in this league. And then if they get 40 to 49 yard field goal, they get 4 points. And anything over 50 is a 5-point field goal. And then you get your 1 point for your point made after a field goal, after a touchdown. And then they also get a minus if they miss a field goal. It doesn't matter where they miss it. So I think that's all good. I think what I was getting into was the special teams. Everybody talks about this bonus. Some people think it's crazy, but I think in a dynasty, I think it's a necessity because the waiver wire is so slim, and Austin can kind of help me out on this one. But I mean, it's so slim. When you add this bonus to these wide receivers, they're not guaranteed every year they're going to be better than Jamar Chase. On occasion, you get onesies and twosies that will finish in the top 5. It doesn't happen every year. And when it does, everybody wants to complain. They're like, oh, this guy should never got that high. Well, hey, you did good at punt returning that year. Yes, we give them a high bonus, but a lot of times you'll find out the ones that get that bonus and get that high score, what the difference of them and the other ones is they didn't just punt return. They also played a position. So they either was the running back as a running back backup that came in a few plays for the game, or they was wide receiver 3 and they occasionally got a pass, or maybe had 3 passes or 3 interceptions, not 3 interceptions, but 3 receptions, and so on. So it boosts up their points. Each year this changes. If you look historically, there's only been a few that's did it back-to-back years as a punt returner. But we did a stack up, we realized that this is not as often as you would think. And every league is different. What we do is we offer every 3 yards, we give them a point for punt returns because you don't always punt return. And they get the 6-point standard. And the same thing with special teams on forced fumbles, because that'll happen on special teams. Them players that do that on special teams will get points for forced fumbles and stuff like that. So just wanted to bring that out. So when I say, hey, if you got a bonus for a punt returner, it's not going to be equivalent to what we have in our league. But if you do, and you have set it up because it gives you that option in sleeper, it's a bonus. It's you want to know who's the best of that group, and that's why we're pointing it out. Because if I see a team and we're looking at their roster on our lads or on the NFL site, it says that guy is assigned a punt returner. Right now, 90% of the chance he's going to be the punt returner going into the season. And if he holds the job and he's also assigned as wide receiver 3 and he's doing both punt and kick return, yeah, he's a great pickup because at the end of the day, he's going to bring you points. He's going to help your team out. The sad thing about that is when you have a player like that, it's a risk because you have a Jamar Chase that's going to score steady every game, 18 points or better, unless he's hurt. A punt returner might score 18 points every game and maybe a 30 or 40 point, but then he's also going to have at least 3 or 4 games that he won't even get over 5 points. And that's where you don't know which game that's going to be. So that's why he's a backup. Don't make him your starter. Don't put your team on its back. I mean, you still got to rely on the stars. This is just something to help out the waiver wire, build up like a thing. It helps a dynasty league. And I'm in a lot of dynasty leagues, and every dynasty league I'm in now has a bonus. And I see the growth of the dynasty leagues going good. Plus, I see longevity. You still have people that complain, but it's easier to go out and get players to replace players because every year that guy's going to change. You don't know if it's going to be the rookie coming in doing a punt returner or the guy that did it last year. You really don't know until it starts going out. So it's just a little extra homework, but it helps out your growth. I wanted to cover that before we got too deep into this and us projecting stuff. And Austin, he started that in his league too, which is very helpful. And his league's already going on 5 years. I know most people say, oh, 5 years, it's done. No, it's only done if the commissioner gives up and throws in the towel. Or I guess if half of your league left, then I guess it would be done. But
Right.
we've never had that situation occur yet, even in his league. We've had onesies and twosies that had to go and leave. And then we had one year where everybody repeated. So things happen in life. And you're not always going to be like, not everybody's as dedicated as others. And some people just get burned out and decide, hey, I'm done. And that happens. And there was one guy that played with Austin for almost 8 years and
Hmm.
finally said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm done with fantasy altogether. It
Yeah.
wasn't that it wasn't that he didn't like it. He loves the sport. He loves football. He just don't have the time and doesn't want to go into the depth that we went into or play. He even dropped out of redraft league. So it was like that happens sometimes. People do get
Yeah.
burned out. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah. Sometimes, and this is why you want to, my opinion, you want to limit the leagues you're in, especially if you're running one. You really want to limit it because you're already got a lot on you with managing people in one league. Then you're, joining in other ones, and then here's the best way, in my opinion, to know if you need to cut back or not. If you look redrafts and stuff, they do their waiver wires like around Tuesdays and stuff up. Dynasty's different, but if you're like every day or like on one certain day where it's like, okay, the games are done, now I gotta go to the waiver wire because there's some people that did good. If you wake up and realize and you say, I gotta go hit the waiver wire, and you'll go, oh, that means you're in too many.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. If you're frustrated about what you're doing, then you should just go ahead and dial it back.
I
Now,
think well, in my opinion, I think 3 is a solid start right there because I was in multiple leagues too, but I just was like I just can't keep doing this.
yeah,
So I got mine narrowed down to 3, and in all honesty, it's a lot better for me, anyways.
and I'm narrowed down to I think 8, which I had up to 13 or one time I think 14 leagues. That was a little bit too much, but I don't run like one thing I am making a I think the last league I started up would probably be Stack'em. I think that'd probably be the last league. Well, I helped someone start another league, but they're running it, and I'm like co-commissioner, which I'm fine with that as they're learning to run it themselves because I don't have to make the decisions and I ain't got to worry about if someone drops out. I'm not doing all the fun stuff. What I'm doing is helping them set up a platform to play, and I'm playing in the league because I love to play. I mean, I can manage multiple teams as long as I give them different names. Then I can understand where I'm at. But I just wanted to bring that out because I know that's a lot. Sometimes people like question, well, what are you mentioning about that for, and what is that? And some people have not experienced that because they play in redraft or they're not got to the full extent of dynasty because there is some dynasty leagues out here that don't have that bonus. Now the bonus is waiver. Like I've seen punt return bonuses all the way down to like, you know how you get every 10 yards you get a point. On theirs it's every like
Mhm,
a little like 5 yards or something like that, you get a point. Art
mhm,
the point 33, I like it. I like the balance because it takes away the zero in a way. If you do the math, it really helps you out because it really hurts when you get a zero in a game. But a regular wide receiver can get a zero too. So don't think the wide receiver one can't get a zero. It can happen in a game. You can have a quarterback get 1 point in a game and just put your head down and wonder what the hell happened. I've had that happen, but we won't talk about that part when I lost that game.
mm.
But all right, let's get back into the topic because we got a lot to cover, and I know we ain't gonna spend a whole night on this. Real quick, we got 4 teams to cover. This episode's gonna cover the North AFC North, and since Austin was nice enough to let me pick
It's
the team,
AFC South.
AFC South. I don't know why I said the other one because I guess I think it's a
But
better league. Okay, let's talk about this mess. It's not a mess. Maybe it's an improvement. The coaching staff, this they're pulling it together. Um, what I did like is they did pick up Cam Ward, and he is named a starter right now. So I do believe he's going to be decent. I think he's going to be average. I don't think he's going to be like, oh my God, I got another C.J. Stroud or Jaden Daniels. Sorry, guys. But I do believe he's going to be mid-range. So I do believe that if I was a betting man, well, that's kind of ironic. We're talking about fantasy football and talking about betting. What's wrong with me? Dial that 1-800 number right now, by God, if you got a problem. So this is if I was a betting man, I would say Ward would probably finish right at 10 or below 10, just slightly. I don't think he'll finish above the 10th quarterback in the entire 32 quarterback league.
Wow.
You give him enough credit to finish in the 10, which is good. So he's a good pickup.
You shocked me with that. But I agree with you, though. It's just I didn't expect that from you.
Well, this is how I look at it. I look at his wide receiver core. I know Calvin Ridley's never been able to pull it back like he had it. And it's hard to come back from a 2-year stint out of the league. It's not an easy task. I mean, people don't understand. These football players are not like, when they're vomiting on the field, it's because it's like a lot going on. I mean, I'm my age. If I go outside, run around this house, I'm puking by the garage. Okay. But then again, I'm out of shape. Someone else my age could probably run around this house 6 or 7 times. But what I'm looking at is his wide receiver core. It's decent. They picked up Tyler Lockett. Yeah, he's hurt and off and on. He comes from Seattle, but he's good. But what I like is his backup, Xavier Restrepo from Miami, wasn't it? He played at.
It was Miami.
Yes, I thought it was Miami. I just didn't want to look too stupid, but I knew it was there. He didn't get drafted. He was picked it up as a non-drafted wide receiver, but I like that he's the backup currently. The other backup are also 2 rookies. You have Elik Alamore Mariner and Chamir Dyke. Okay, Van Jefferson is not a bad wide receiver, but he's not a top elite wide receiver, but he's steady. He's average. When he does get hurt, to have a good backup like that right behind him, sorry, Treylon Burks. I hear the toilet flushing. You're going away. I apologize. Yeah. All my dreams and hopes were based on you one time, and you have shattered my dreams. But guess what, guys? This is hope for you in fantasy land. Every time I say that, that player ends up being a star. So maybe you might want to pick him up now. He's going to blow up this year and be like the number 1 wide receiver. But no, he's 3rd string, so I doubt that's going to happen. So I like their wide receiver core. Dyke is right behind Calvin Ridley, so they got a good backup crew. And it's a good young crew to think. And the tight end, I like the tight end. I like Chick Okonawa. And I also like Josh Wiley. And I also like Gunnar Helm. I like Gunnar Helm over all of them, but he is a rookie. But one thing I noticed about Gunnar Helm, yes, he played really great for Texas. The issue is him. He is not your Dalton Kincaid or your Brock Bowers, but what he is he could be your George Kittle, your Travis Kelce. And why I say that, don't say it, or even your Rob Gronkowski. Why I'm saying that is in 2 years or in a year, that is going to be a tight end to be reckoned with. He was a great receiving tight end, but I just don't think he was watching his play, his ability. He shows all the signs of who I just mentioned. But it's going to take him a year to develop, and I think he's behind a good group to kind of develop with. And I honestly think he'll lead the group. So don't go out and draft him and think he's your tight end. I'm sorry, he's not. If you did get him, put him on your taxi squad, and please don't throw him away until after the 2 years. That's all I could say on that, because most taxi squads is 2 years. And I guess I could show that. If you go to the leagues, you got like multiple settings for taxi squads and sleeper, and one of them is 2 years, and then after that, they have to come out. And I think that's fair enough. You don't want to have it where it's like a veteran, because if you did that, people would just pile up players that are really good, and the other teams would suffer. And I don't think that's fair. I think it should be a balance to keep the league healthy. So, okay, and I'm sitting here rabbling along, and poor Austin's over like, is he ever going to shut up? But before I go on and turn this over to Austin, because I know he might have a tidbit, The only disagreement is, and I'm shocked, but maybe I don't know something yet, and maybe it'll change. I do. We all know Tony Pollard's going to be the starting quarterback. I can dream all I want, think the other. It's not going to happen. I knew Tajay Spears would be his backup. Julius Chestnut surprised me as the third string because I watched Kayla Mullins from Michigan play, and I really thought he would be the third string. And I know it's third string. You're like, why are we talking third string in fantasy? I'm thinking future. But this is like that running back room is not as big as others that we've seen, and he could move up. But I honestly think he's going to be a better back than Tony or Tajay. I just don't think it's going to be this year. I think next year we're going to see something. And if we don't, then he's going to disappear. So I think on that offensive side, I pretty much said everything I had to say. On the defensive side for Tennessee, there's nothing to talk about. It's whatever you want to think. No, I'm just kidding. the only defensive guy, I don't know. I mean, Cody Barton, yeah, I like him. I like Sweat. I think he's awesome. Xavier Woods, not so much. Yeah, I'm not big on them. So, in the punt returner, this is where I'm saying, guys, pay attention. This might be a punt returner you might want to pick up if you have a bonus league, any bonus, and that is Dyke. Dyke is now listed as the punt returner 1 and punt returner kick 2. Guess what? He's also the backup on wide receiver. Who is he backing up? I forgot. Oh, Terrence Lockett. There's a good potential that he could be really scoring some points his rookie year. That's common. It's a common thing to happen to have a rookie come out, do very well in punt returns and wide receiver. And then he becomes a wide receiver and doesn't punt return no more. So you might want to keep an eye on that. So who do you? So out of this team, I'll give you who I think is the best. Ran my mouth off. Best pickup rookie wise is Ward, the quarterback, and the highest scorer out of this group. We all know the quarterback's probably going to score higher. Honestly, I don't see any of the wide receivers like, jumps out and bangs me in the head, so I'm sticking with the quarterback again. I mean, I'm not fond of Tony Pollard, and I think he'll do better than Tony Pollard. And the best defensive guy would be Cody Barton. That's just my opinion. So go right ahead and tell me what you think.
So I do kind of like Ward. I just don't really like that wide receiving core as much as you do.
Well, I don't like them. I just like the backups.
Right, which, they have a chance to make a statement in this core, but that's something we're gonna see because the main ones, like, the corpse of Tyler Lockett is going to do something. It's not going to be like it in the past, but he's still going to be relevant especially if you need a flex spot like starter. Uh, Calvin really, I think, is going to be the main one getting the targets since he is. And I know the 2 years and all that, but I think he's still going to be something because he's the wide receiver 1 right now. Everybody else besides Van Jefferson and Tyler Lockett, everybody else we're just taking guesses on because most of them are rookies. So I still think on the offensive side, I am definitely going with Ward, though. Definitely going to be the main offensive weapon to pick up. Now, the defense definitely needs to be better than they were last year. But as I was looking at this, the other you went with that route on defense, but I'm gonna go with a safety, and I'm actually gonna go with Amani Hooker because Amani Hooker is actually did pretty well on this defense last year. He got 5 interceptions last year, which is pretty impressive. So out of the defensive backs, I would definitely go with Amani Hooker because Xavier Woods, I mean, I really wouldn't get him definitely in a dynasty due to the fact he's 29 years old. So I would stay away from that. Now, if you're a contender, then, you take a shot, but you're definitely going to be holding the bag after probably this year. So, yeah, I mean, I do. Mostly, I agree with you mostly on a lot of things you said about this team. Like, there's still a lot of question marks, but it's definitely going to be interesting on how it goes.
Yes, it is going to be interesting. And I want
So, go ahead.
to, and looking at something real quick. Did I do something wrong here? How is that even possible? See, I didn't realize they picked up Xavier Woods from Carolina. Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was one of the top scorers for defense last year.
he was. He'd be definitely good for like if somebody really needs a contender. If they want somebody that can score, I would definitely get him. But dynasty wise, I mean, he only signed a 2-year deal, which is really just a 1-year deal.
Yeah, you got Hooker right below him. Yeah,
hmm
I see what you're saying. Oh, I
One's
know.
young, one's younger that will last a couple more years longer than the other one, and it's not that far from scoring from him either.
So he wasn't that high. He was only in the 200s, but that's pretty good for a defensive back. He
Oh,
scored
oh,
just right
definitely,
below.
it definitely is.
Yeah, he scored just right below Nick Bolton and them.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're linebackers.
yeah. So yeah, pretty good pickup. All right. So
Can I pick the next team?
yeah, why not? Who you gonna pick?
So this team is by far the interesting one that I really want to talk about. I don't know if it is for you or not, but I want to go and we're gonna swing it to Indianapolis.
All right.
We need to talk about the Colts because there's an interesting situation going on. And, right now there's a quarterback competition going down, and you're just like, what do you mean? Well, if you've been living under a rock, it's between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. It is not the hottest two that you would want to have a battle for the quarterbacks, but it's happening. And it's funny because, Anthony Richardson has already been dealing with injuries already in minicamp. So Daniel Jones has already gotten a little bit more first team reps than Anthony Richardson has. We all know for fantasy, we all know Daniel Jones can actually throw a lot better than Richardson can. And honestly, you know, Anthony Richardson might be a little bit more athletic, but Daniel Jones has got wheels too. He can run the ball too if he needs to. He's proven it at when he was with the Giants. But in all honesty, I got Anthony Richardson in one of my leagues, and it hurts me. But I think Daniel Jones is going to win the job, and he's going to start as the starting quarterback.
Mm.
Which, in all honesty, that's what we want in fantasy. Because if Daniel Jones starts, then that means Michael Pittman will actually be relevant again. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, they will all be relevant again. And then the rookie Tyler Warren will be a tremendous pick. Tyler Warren, in my opinion, would be good either way if it was Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, since they always say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend. But with Daniel Jones, he'll be throwing the ball more, and he's way more accurate than Anthony Richardson is. So I just think Daniel Jones is going to win. I mean, because of right now, our lads has got Daniel Jones in the starting spot. I mean, it makes sense because Anthony Richardson's already hurt in minicamp. And
Yes,
it just Anthony Richardson just I mean he pulled himself out of a game like of some drive, like in the middle of the drive, pulled himself off because he was tired. When you're a quarterback, you don't pull yourself off. You're supposed to be the leader. So
they benched him the next game for that.
exactly, which
And they found out when he sat out just because he was tired. They were like, "You got to be kidding me."
exactly. So that's the reason why I'm like, you know, I had hope for him, but it's just gonna be rough. I think after this year, they're gonna be looking for another new starter. But on the offensive side, you know, I love I love Mason Jonathan Taylor. I think he's gonna do excellent this year. But the player that I would pick because I really like him too is I would pick Tyler Warren, the rookie. I think he's gonna get tremendous volume. Even with this receiving core, he's gonna get tremendous volume.
Well,
Especially
yeah, I would have to disagree with you just because of the quarterback. He was
well, that's
horrible at throwing to tight ends.
but he was good at dinking dunking, so you can
Yeah,
look at it
but
either
when he was
way.
at the Giants, he didn't know how to dunk to his tight ends.
Yes, he did.
Well, they didn't score like they should have.
But then because they didn't have good tight ends. And the Giants they just had terrible offensive line. That's the reason why Daniel Jones was running for his life the whole time.
Well, maybe you're right.
They were awful. And you know this. You watch the games, you're an Eagles fan. And I watch the games because I'm a Cowboys fan. We
Uh,
both know how that goes.
yeah, I'm gonna be a little nice to this team because this is my dad's favorite team, and I don't want to put them
Oh,
down too bad. The only good thing on this team, a wide receiver, is Pittman, and he's kind of off on the edge. And I do hope Tyler Warren does good. And yes, I do believe Daniel Jones will be the quarterback. And the other best offensive player on this team is Jonathan Taylor, hands down. Kayla Herbert is not going to do nothing. I don't think why they're excited that they got him as a backup. If anything, I'd be more relying on DJ Giddens than him. The only exciting thing about this team is the defense. I mean, Zaire Franklin, Nick Cross, um, Cam Bynum, all these guys, Latu, Buckner, Stewart. I mean, there you go. Just that's the only thing that holds this team together.
yeah, yeah.
And that
So the defense, my guy would have been Zaire Franklin that I would have chose out of all these group.
so this Anthony Loud is considered the punt returner for both sides this year. They have tried him at punt returner before, and I know he's right now signed for kick return and punt return, but I'm highly suggesting that you take him as a maybe. Don't put your buckets don't put any chips on this bucket because you're lucky to get a 38 to a 48 point out of him out of 2 games all season. He was a punt returner last year, but he also got hurt last year. He was out like 7, 8 games. It was a terrible situation. And the times he did punt return, he only had 2 outstanding punt returns, which is nothing compared to some of the other punt returners you see. I'm just saying it's not ideal. But then the punt returning rules changed this year in the NFL, so it could be a benefit to him. But honestly, would be like I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't raise the thing. Tight end, yes, I agree with Austin. That's your best tight end to pick up. Tyler Warren, and maybe Indianapolis does have a better offensive line than the Giants. So Daniel Jones might look nothing like he did when he played with the Giants. It might be a little magical. You're going to think something happened, and it's not the damn coaching. Uh, it was the damn offensive line. Uh,
Hmm.
not to cuss the coach. The coaching there is great. No, whatever. They're good. They're doing their job. But yeah, I'll agree with you on that. Tyler Warren's probably your best sleeper in fantasy right there. I like that. And Daniel Jones, yes, I do agree with that. So if you guys out there put all your hopes and dreams in fantasy world for Anthony Richardson Jr. or Senior, I think you threw it away. And maybe he'll rebound. Maybe he will rebound. I mean, it doesn't mean he's out yet, but it doesn't look good for him. And Daniel Jones, I think this is his chance to redeem himself, but I don't think it's going to be a Baker Mayfield redemption. I think he'll finish in the top 20, just like between 15 and 20, if he plays with what he has.
You think this is another Sam Darnold situation?
I think it's better than Sam Arnold. Sam Arnold just got lucky. I think we're going to see the true stars shine in Seattle, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, please bring Milroe in." All right, I got the next team. All right, so the next team we're going to talk about. Got to get back space here so I can see them. Guess what? I'm still in the Indianapolis world. I will be damned if I let you pick my team, so I got to pick them. Houston Texans, the other one you can play with. So we're going to start off with the Houston Texans. Love this team, but I'm still an Eagles fan. I've not changed my fandism. I just like C.J. Stroud. I have C.J. Stroud as a quarterback. I think he'll do good this year. He'll still finish in the top 15. I like the whole lineup. I like Nico Collins. I hate that Tank Dell's still hurt. I love the pickup they got, Jaden Higgins. I think he's going to be great. I like the trade they got from Christian Kirk from Jacksonville. I also like the idea they got Cam Robinson from Minnesota, great left tackle, and they got the guy from Seattle, Laken Thompson, which also was a great guard. I'm talking offensive linemen here. These guys, pretty good offensive line. They went to two good teams that had two good offensive line and picked up players. Yeah, the contracts are not what you think, but they're good players. Joe Mixon is named in running back 1, but Nick Chubb is going to try to make his debut back, which dropped Damian Pierce down to wide receiver 3. So
He's done for.
yeah, I think Nick Chubb might have a chance to step back in. We'll see. And defense is good there. You got Will Anderson, Azir, Harry Tutu, Johnson Gardner was traded there from Philadelphia. Jalen Pentry. All these guys are good players, so it's going to be exciting. And the punt returner is kind of mixed, which is an old punt returner they got there, Barry Braxton. They picked him up from Miami. In 2021, he's one of the punt returners I was talking about that played wide receiver 3 of punt return and was the number 1 wide receiver that year in a bonus league. But he's sharing the kick return duties with Damian Pierce, so don't jump on that. It's not going to happen this year for you. Nothing from that group is going to say punt returner, save me. C.J. Stroud, we all know he's the starter. I thought it was interesting that he picked up Graham Mertz, but he's third string. David Mills is still the backup quarterback. So out of this team, I think the best pick is Nico Collins. I think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver as long as he stays healthy. We knew C.J. Stroud was to do good. We all know Dalton Schultz is back, but he's like one of them good medium tight ends to pick up, keep the team steady as long as he stays healthy. But behind him, he has a pretty good roster. He's got Brevin Jordan, which if he ever got the starting job, he'd do good. Cade Stover, if he could stay healthy, he would do good. Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb, Damian Pierce, I just don't know. They need to get a bigger. I don't know what's going on with that. Joe Mixon maybe got another year. But that's where I'm at right now. I think the best player out of fantasy would be Nico Collins. I would definitely, and I wouldn't, as a rookie guy, I'd be like Jaden Higgins could be his, T. Higgins in Cincinnati.
Could be. Definitely could be.
But what disappointed me is John Minchie picked up at the end of the year. I just can't see why Jaden Higgins beat him out for starting. I was wanting John Minchie to come back, but hey, it is what it is.
I don't know. Training camp's going to be interesting while they're battling it out for that. I think CJ Stroud definitely has a chance to bounce back this year. I just really hope with all these new pieces for the offensive line actually is better than last year because last year it was horrendous. So, but there's definitely a chance where he bounces back. Um, yeah, I mean, for offensive side, I would I would have to agree with you on Nico Collins because Christian Kirk, he's basically going to be in going in the middle in the slot for the most part. So
And he's
Nico
not that
Collins,
healthy.
no, he definitely is not that healthy. So that's yeah. So basically, depending on how Jaden Higgins turns out, Nico Collins is going to get the biggest amount of that share of targets. On the defense, I mean, the defense, I think, looks pretty good. I think they'll actually do a little bit better than last year. So the defense, I would definitely go. I'm definitely going with Will Anderson because he had
Yes.
especially if you're wanting a good defensive lineman, he had 11 sacks last year. So I think he can actually build up on that and get a little couple more than just 11. And D'Amico Ryans is a defensive guy, so he's definitely going to get this defense back in shape. So I'm definitely going with Will Anderson on the defensive side.
I agree. So
So
that's another thing I want to bring out is I'm going to give you a surprise. And this is a little tidbit from Mr. Ralph. So here's my tidbit for you guys. I sometimes want to remember that there is someone that has a past. And I know Austin ain't totally on board with me on this, but I'm saying someone has a heart. And I believe if his heart has the opportunity and he's able to stay healthy, now he's had a whole year, well, a couple years to recuperate. If he gets the opportunity, I hope Nick Chubbs comes out there just banging away. So if I was anybody, I would pick him up and put him on my roster and sit on him and watch how the season plays out. Now, I could be wasting your time, but I don't think it's a waste because he's out there on a lot of waiver wires. You'd be surprised. I mean, he's getting picked up now because Texans took him in, especially in a lot of the dynasty leagues. I've seen the activity in the leagues that I'm in. There was some leagues where he wasn't even like on people's rosters anymore. People had done gave up on him. So I think if you're like so dead in running back room, there could be some hope for you. I'm not promising you anything, so don't hold me to it. But I'm just saying I would do it, and I have done it.
I
But I'm
would.
also one of the guys that cut Nick Chubbs too. So there you go.
I hope he bounces back for real. I hope he
Yep.
does.
My nose is itching so bad now after I said that. That tells me he's going to do really well. I'm superstitious. I will wear this sock now for 7 days straight because this guy's going to do great. I mean,
Hmm.
my nose won't stop itching. Jesus. All right. We have now covered, now we're on the final team.
Yeah, this is another interesting team. I I think anyways because I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. The
Say it.
best the best the best thing on this offense that they got is Brian Thomas Jr.
Thank you.
right now because I love that man. I also have him in one of my dynasty leagues, so I definitely reaped the benefits from him last year. But yeah, even like so, yes, even the Travis Hunter lovers, calm down. But you know, we're still speculating on how many snaps he's going to take on offense and how many snaps he's going to take on defense because he's done said he wants to play both sides. So it's more like when you take Travis Hunter, in all honesty, I feel a lot safer in him in an IDP league and not in a redraft. And not, if you want to take a chance, definitely do it. And I know definitely people will, but I just don't know what they're gonna use. like the percentage of snaps they're going to use him for. So it could I could eat my words on this too later, but I just don't know. So, but even regardless, Brian Thomas is still their number one, and he's going to do great like he did last year. So definitely Brian Thomas. The running back situation, it's so I'm not sure. Do you want to you can definitely still take a chance on Travis Etienne, but then again, Tank Bixby can just take that from him. I
I,
mean,
I think
Tank
Tank Kingsbury will take it from him.
Tank Bixby has done better this past year. He's done pretty good. He got a lot more. He got a little bit more percentage of snaps, so it's already eaten into Travis Etienne's workload. So there's a really big chance that Tank Bigsby actually takes this over, and it would not surprise me if he does. Uh, the defense now, you know, I think really what's wrong with this team, it's like the defense has gotten better over the years. It's just, right now the question is about Trevor Lawrence. Is he actually a franchise quarterback or not? That's still to be seen, to be honest with you. I mean, I think if Trevor Lawrence does not take the next step, I think we could be seeing a different quarterback in Jacksonville very soon. And on the defensive side, I am going to go with. Oh, I mean, there's so many good players on here. I mean, you can go with Travion Walker. You can go with Josh Hines Allen. You can even go with Foyosete Olokun. And that's actually the route I'm going with. I'm going with Foyosete because he's a really good linebacker. Just got to stay a little bit more healthy sometimes, but he's a really good linebacker, and I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah. So just talking about that defense, it's livid. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
say it's livid, it's livid. Trevion Walker, Devon Hamilton, even Mason Smith and Josh Hines Hanlon, and top of that, for Shade, like you said, he's going to be a top guy as long as he stays healthy. He's always a top guy. He's always in the top 10 until he's not healthy. And how many snaps is Travis Hunter really going to get on the defensive side? He is back up to Jaron Jones, left cornerback. So we know that they're going to use him as a cornerback and not a safety, which makes sense. That's what he did at Buffalo. He is wide receiver. He's the slant wide receiver, and he is in the starting position. And right behind him is Parker Washington. I will note that if Parker Washington this year, I'd keep an eye on him, and he would be a decent pickup for like a maybe play when someone's sick or something, because he does have punt return for both sides. They took Tank Bigsby's punt return away and gave it to him. That's interesting because they didn't do that last year. Dimey Brown, they picked up from Washington. The guy's played for 3 years. He's never really done much. But then they had a lot of great players at Washington. Jaden Daniels didn't pay him no attention. I get it, but really the two wide receivers on this team is going to be promised Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. And Brian Thomas Jr. is the better of the two, and he will be the top one that gets most of the catches. I do like the pickups for some of the linemen they got. They did pick up Murick Patrick from Baltimore, pretty good lineman, and then they got Robert Hainsey, center from Tampa, pretty decent. No, Nick Mullins ain't going to beat Trevor Lawrence out for the starting job. I can tell you that right now. Trevor Lawrence has the starting job. But on the running back room, I do agree with Austin. That's a tight thing. I'm not too worried about the rookies coming up, taking anything away from Tank Bisbee. I honestly think this is ETN's chance to prove himself. If he doesn't get it done, I honestly believe they were going to lean more on Tank like they did last year. You can see it towards the end of the year. They slowly started bringing Travis back. But if Travis can't get ball control and hold that ball and Tank just keeps plowing it down the field and not losing it, I don't see them not giving it to Tank. It doesn't matter where you're drafted. Yeah, that was in 2021 when Travis Etienne was drafted. 2023 is when Tank Bisbee was drafted in the third round. So it can happen. You'd be in the sixth round and become the starter. And so, in my opinion, the best offensive guy on this team would be your Brian Thomas Jr. And best rookie on this team that I like is the Travis Hunter because, especially in IDP, you could get a little bonus. I like that. Running back, I would probably lean more towards Tank. I'd be more putting my money on him. And on defensive side, like I really want to agree with Austin, but honestly, I think he's past his prime, and I think we'll see him getting injured again. And I really think the most upcoming one, and it's hard to, I'm probably going to lean more towards Josh Hines Allen than Trevion Walker, but they're both good. And I think Josh Hines has a little bit more like he's the future of that defensive group right there and the way he gets around the edge. So I'm going to have to lean for him. Safety group is kind of good, but it ain't like, oh, I'm so excited I want to be out there. I mean, they're not the Tampa Bay safety group. They're not who's another good safety group out there? It just like kills it every time. Oh, the Eagles. Let's not forget about them. I mean, so all right. So now we covered all the teams, Austin. Brace yourself. I want to get your take this time first, instead of me always going first. Since I named off my guys, I got to get the right mouse. I got two computers going here, guys. Yeah, I'm that guy. I got computers everywhere. I'm sitting here trying to multitask. All right. So I want to know. So before you give me your projection, I want to explain to the fan base out there. As I said, when Austin pitched this idea, I got so excited. I threw three teams out there. I have dreams and hopes about Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, maybe the Browns because I'm from Ohio. So I love the Browns and the Cincinnati, but I also hate them. I know it's weird, but I'm an Eagles fan. People don't have to be right in the head. There's no one said that's okay. It's fine what I believe. So I got excited. I'm saying these guys are going to make it. I know they're not going to make it. So I digressed and I said the only one I think is going to make it out of the North AFC is the Ravens this year. Now, I have my reasons behind this, and I did a little bit of study. I really dug into this time. So Austin gave the Bengals and the Ravens, and I hated to leave the Bengals out this, but I'm sorry, Joe. Until you can get that kickstart off of there before you start your first 6 games, maybe then I'll have a little bit more faith in you. It's just the rate you go, man. It's 6 games dead, and then you guys kick it out of nowhere. I mean, you can't do that. You want to be a winner, get out there, start winning like the Ravens and all the rest of these guys do. I think you can do it. I think you got the team. I love you guys. I love I would love to see you win a Super Bowl because you're Joe Burrow. I remembered you when you were a backup at Ohio State. I used to wonder, like, you were going to be my next starter, but then you never showed up. But I didn't get to make them decisions. I'm sorry they set you to LSU. I know that had to be rough on you. But it happened.
Oh, so, just winning a national championship.
Yeah. I mean, they give them a national championship for going down there. What kind of stuff happens down there? All right, go ahead. Pick who's your team.
All right. So I got Houston winning the division. So I got Houston. And then in second place, I went back and forth on this. And I changed it once I realized that Daniel Jones was starting the Colts. So I'm actually gonna pick them being, they're gonna be third. I think they're gonna be third because I got Jacksonville second because I think if they use Travis Hunter right, it's gonna help them tremendously. They just got to figure out that running back core. So I got Houston first, winning the division, and then I got Jacksonville, and then I got the Titans, and then the Colts.
Oh wow, you got the Colts finishing it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I went back and forth on this, and I know I've said it. We're gonna be second and third, but
you're gonna
the
get
more I
someone
think about it,
fired.
I don't know. I know, but I mean, I like what their offense is and stuff. But I mean, quarterbacks is just it's not good. It's not good at all. So I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong, but I could see a rebuild. They're already trying to rebuild now, but I could see a bigger rebuild happening in Indianapolis. So I only got one team going to the playoffs in this division, and it's Houston.
All right, so that's interesting. So I'm gonna start backwards since you started forwards, and I have Jaguars. Actually, I have the Titans last, and then above the Titans, I have the Jaguars because I'm losing faith in their quarterback room. And then I have the Colts second, and I have Houston winning the division. And on top of that, I also only picked one team from the South to make it, and that's Texans. So little different order, not so much the same as Austin. I don't think anything matched other than Houston this time, but not
Hmm.
all the time are we going to be the same. I just okay. So let me give my reasonings behind this because you're probably thinking why. I think Daniel Jones is a good enough quarterback to come in second in the division because the rest of the three teams are going to suck so bad in the South they're not even going to be considered to be part of the playoffs anyways. And in Jaguars, I just Trevor Lawrence has always been a big disappointment, and I think he's going to continue to be a big disappointment. And the Titans, even though they picked up Cam Ward, I still believe that the wide receiver room is very shaky.
Hmm.
So I just don't think I think a lot of things and the defense doesn't like say I got me. So I think the Colts and the Jaguars has a better defense to pull them through, but I just don't think the other one does. So next week, well, first you guys like the content, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. What do you always say, Austin?
Make sure you share because sharing is caring.
All right, before we digress, me and Austin are in a hurry to go do something. Uh, you guys don't know what we're in a hurry to go do. College 26 just came out yesterday. And some got it pre-ordered, so some played a little early. Me, I was that lazy guy. I said I wasn't gonna pay any extra than I had to because I did the
Yeah,
last time and I was disappointed. And
yeah, I
this
did the same
time
thing.
I bought it. I pre-ordered it. I'm always gonna pre-order my stuff. I'm just that guy. I always have to have it before it gets here. I downloaded it last night, stayed up, played probably until 2 o'clock in the morning, about 10 different games, just to kind of get a feel of it. Getting ready for the Dynasty invites because I know we got Dynasty in that too. I won't put money in that because I'm not going to say why I won't put money in that. I'm just not going to pay to give away money. I mean,
Um,
well, some people say I do that in Dynasty football. That's not
yeah.
true. I always make my money back in best ball in my other leagues. I did win a
Mm.
couple leagues last year. Uh, See, you take my advice, I will make you a champion because, see, this is what I'm going to show you guys this year. I took a team in Austin's league 4 years ago that was the worst team in the league. And yes, it's still been the worst team in the league. But this year, I feel it. I have it in my hand. I am taking it to the distance. And he doesn't see it, but I see it. I have made trades and did magic and built this team up from nothing to something. I took a team that was already drafted and I remodeled it. And I think I have it remodeled to be a champion team. And I will share you guys this journey during the season. So if it comes in fruition, you guys will understand how to build a team. Now, question is, some people said it took you 4 years to build a team. Well, sometimes it takes time to get perfection.
Mm,
Perfection ain't born that day,
mm.
unless you're just lucky. And when I make perfection, I make it where it lasts forever. So when I make this perfection, I'll probably be the champion of this league for at least 2 times since I've never seen a back-to-back leader I'll be that guy that gets it back to back because you know why?
Oh, good grief.
I'm that guy. And you're like, oh my God, you just talk all that smack. All right,
Okay.
guys. I appreciate all the fans that tune in. Sorry we took our little break. We're back on schedule. So please keep tuning in. And hopefully this content we give you guys will help you out and get you along. Enjoy College 26. I'll give EA a little applause on some of the improvements they made. And then later on, I'll tell you about all the letters I write them about the horrible things. They have improved the interception ratio. Thank God.